really started saying, God, I want to know you. I want to know you. I don't want to hear it from anybody else. I want to know for myself. And when I made that decision, he started slowly showing me how to trust in him. No matter what was going on, and all of you know that I've been struggling for the last couple of years, you know, trying to work, trying to keep the business going. And there have been many days that were difficult, but because of where I started 10 years ago of trying to put God first, I also pray first. When I start my day, I start praying. And that has made me be able to see him in difficult, hard days, and in the great, great days that he has shown me over the last few years. And I some people may have heard me say this. Some days I would go home, and it would be just something small, or maybe riding, and I would smile because he would reveal to me, I can make a bad day good. Amen. And it might not have been anything, you know, amazing, or like Miss Grace said, you know, it might have just been seeing a beautiful tree, or seeing someone that, I was telling someone the other day about us going down and feeding the homeless. And it brought tears to my eyes because I remembered the married couple that Sheila and I talked to that day. And they were praising God, telling us about their struggle, but still saying how happy they were. And I had to think, wow, in this circumstance, for what, to be content,
happier than you,
and happier than I could, than I was at that time.
Wow.
If they can look at their circumstances and praise him in the midst of what I felt like was that, then whatever circumstance I found myself in, I had to still praise him because he had me there.
there's always a light on us to get.
So, Joe, do you have anything?
We saved you for
Save me for that.
last. Save the best for last.
Just something small. I don't need that pass.
No.
Thank you, sweet.
The mic needs it. The mic needs it. Because sometimes on the video, you can't hear what the person's saying. Right? The video, the mic needs it.
It's like my surgery. When I was my surgery, I just had to have all faith in God in my surgery. And like me and Ms. Grace was talking this morning, and Nana, we was talking about, you know, because people always ask me how I feel, how I feel. She keeps saying it, and my son calls me every morning saying the same thing. I mean, I could say, oh boy, it's not a good day. But I wake up every morning in pain. But I don't complain about the pain. I just don't feel like complaining because I don't want to be that person who's like, oh my God. Because it makes me see, when I see people out on the street, they're much worse off than I am. I just deal with the pain and keep going. I don't want to tell people, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a bad day. Oh, I don't feel good. I don't even really tell my husband. I just keep moving because I seen a guy. I don't know what he had with his face. I don't know what was going on with it, but it looked like gangrene. To me, I always see gangrene on the leg. So I just try my best not to complain about something to me. It's small because God has helped me out with so much. So I just try not to just go every day. You know, because you ever call somebody and they be like, oh, every day. I had one of those days. You call me that tomorrow, it's the same thing. So basically, I don't want to keep calling that person because it's like brings me down. I don't want to keep hearing that every day. You know, I'm not being funny, but I don't. I'm not hearing that. So I just try to just thank God for where I'm at today. You know, and keep going no matter how much pain I'm in. You know, I just keep going. So I just thank God for not complaining.
So what you've learned to do is shift. You've learned to shift your perspective.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to complain to people. Right? I'm going to be thankful to God. Well, I want to ask a question about it. Thank you. Forgive me. Right? I want to ask a question about that. I don't need it. I'll use it because I asked you all to. Right? But I want to ask a question about that. I want Asaph complained. Right?
Say it again.
Asaph complained.
Okay.
I don't have to. Because you already, right? If we look in verse 3, in verse 3 of chapter 77, right? He says, I remember God and was troubled. I complained. And my spirit was overwhelmed, right? Was Asaph wrong to complain?
Yes. Yes.
How many no's do we have? Can I get the no's? Can I get the no's? Raise your hand if you get a no. If you're a no, you're a no.
So you saying, was he wrong?
Was he wrong to complain? Was he wrong to complain? Was he wrong to complain? So I got to know. I got to know. I got to know. Was he wrong to complain? I got to know. I got to know. I got to know.
He was wrong to complain.
And how many yeses do we have? One yes. How many abstentions do we have? How many?
You don't deserve to complain.
I'm not here votes do I have? Right. So Mark said he was wrong to complain. Other people say he was not wrong to complain, right? The issue of the complaint wasn't wrong because it was made to God. I appreciate what Joe said. Joe said, I ain't complaining to nobody. My friend, my husband. I ain't even going to complain to my husband, right? However, guess what God doesn't mind us doing? God doesn't mind us bringing our complaints to him. God, my heart is troubled. Some folk would say that's a complaint. God, I'm hurting all over. Because Joe, like you, I hurt every day. Every day. I wake up in pain. But what do? Do I hide myself back under? Now, many times, I just want to go back to bed. I just want to go back to sleep, right? Right? I'm gracious and grateful that sometimes my wife will pick the phone up and call me to make sure that I have, already did, that make sure I have gotten up.
Thank God for your wife.
God bless Jesus for it. Bless Jesus for it. Because sometimes, guess what?
You could go right back. You
No, I could.
You
I
already
do.
in the bed.
I do.
So it's okay to complain?
Huh?
So it's okay to complain to God?
To God.
Yes.
Because guess what, Mark? God, he wants to know, he already knows all about us. His desire is that we connect to him from an emotional perspective, right? What is a complaint, Mark?
I would look at a complaint as something that you're not satisfied with, something that's troubling you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I try to be thankful more than I always ask.
And we
God.
should, and we should be.
You still obey.
And we should be. No, that ain't it. That ain't that. Mark has lived life. Mark is bless your heart. Mark has lived life, right? And guess what God got to do? Guess what God has said, right? Marcus, in his tender age, he still got to know God for himself. He can't know the God of his mother. He can't know the God of his father. He's got to know God for himself, right? So Marcus looks at his life and sometimes says, God, I go through stuff, but I'm not going to blame you. See, blaming and complaining are two different things.
Okay.
Right?
Blaming and complaining.
Blaming and complaining are two different things. Sometimes we want to blame people for stuff. We want to blame God. God, why am I here? God, why'd you let me go through this? God, you don't love me. God. No, I ain't talking about that. What I'm talking about is God. I'm hurting all over. Right? But sometimes in our dealing with the pain, what we do is we create barriers between us and God. Right? Where the pain can become so huge that we can't see God.
Say that again.
Sometimes we allow the pain to grow in us to be so big that it obscures, it removes our ability to see God.
But do we allow the pain, or is God allowing the pain?
Sometimes we allow the pain, Ms. Grace.
Can you give an example of that, please?
If there's a situation that you're in the midst of and it's causing you pain, and you can get out because God's giving you a way of delivery of escape of that pain, but you just stay there and you stay in the midst of the pain to the place where then you begin to blame God who has given you an escape. But you own the pain. The pain becomes your friend. And you can't let pain go because pain begins to identify who you are. And you want everybody to know you based upon your pain. I know people that way. I know people who would rather talk about pain than talk about God. They'd rather talk about how much of a victim they are than talk about the God who delivers. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Right? See, some of us come to a place where we abide in it. We make friends with it. You know? We make friends with anger. We make friends with frustration. We make friends with exhaustion. We make friends with it, right? And it becomes, it's a strange bedfellow. It begins to soothe us. Because now, if I'm a victim, and the world sees me as a victim, they'll approach me as a victim. You said what?
I'm saying, you say they approach you as a victim, so they be like...
Yeah, you want people to approach you as a victim. These people, they grow in their mind to a place where they want the world to approach them as a victim. Because if you're a victim, you're never accountable for anything you do. You never have to take ownership for your life. You never have to own your own stuff. You can always blame somebody else. You can always point a finger. You can always make it about somebody else. And some of us use God as a crutch, or we use people as a crutch, or we use alcohol as a crutch, or we use drugs as a